everyone, it's been a long time since I've been on a writer's Vee-Log, and, well, I would love to apologize, but it's not entirely my fault. If any of you have been following that, I've been out of work since about July, and nothing seems to be taking. So, anyway, yeah, welcome to Alberta in 2016, the province without jobs, or a growing number of job losses, I should say. It's been pretty bad. I've gone to things like that, different places that were hiring for multiple different venues, and just nowhere. I'm getting nowhere with any of it. So today I thought on a writer's Vee-Log, since it's the first time I've been able to get on it, and the first time I'm wanting to do this little video. Anyway, a lot of you who don't live in Alberta may not know what's going on. So here in Alberta, we ended up booting out the corrupt PC government, and then lo and behold, who do we vote in? Because of course we'll never vote in a Liberal government here in Alberta. No, not us. We voted in an NDP government. So, and for many of you right away, you're going to go, oh yeah, that's right. The old story, NDP's fault that we're in the way we are. And you know what? I will give them one thing. Yeah, they didn't cause the oil problems that we're having. But you see, the thing is if it was just the oil problems, then you wouldn't be seeing jobs in places like BC or Saskatchewan. You see, you don't see jobs here in Alberta because, well, the NDP have done their darndest to alienate any investor from coming in and making shop or in their businesses and that. Let's put it this way. It's so bad in the economy right now that my wife, who's a nail tech, who had a decent amount of clientele and had quite a few women coming to her to get her nails done, are pretty much gone. She's down to the point where she gets some clients sometimes randomly on her advertisements. That is it. All the women that she had collected as clients on that have basically stated, look, my husband's out of work, or I'm out of work, or, we took a hit in the paycheck, can't afford it. Welcome to welcome to Alberta 2016. Life sucks here. I've been out of work. My wife is currently looking for a full-time job, so she had to quit doing her business, quit doing the things she loved to go back to work. And she has to go back to work for, a job that's $12 an hour, if not, if not maybe if we're lucky, $16 an hour. But at this point, we're looking at $12 an hour. Things are just looking bad. At this point, I'm looking at picking up another trade. Yay me. But I thought, for all of you that were curious as to what was going on here in Alberta and why I haven't been doing a writer's Vee-Log, why I haven't been spending a lot of time writing, and yes, there's been times I've chosen not to write. Of late, I've been stressed. I've been stressed without work. I have some nights where I don't get sleep. So life's been hectic around here, and you know what? The NDP are making it worse. They may not be in charge of the oil prices, but they certainly are making things worse. So I thought I would just do a demonstration here of exactly what's going on here in Alberta. So here in Alberta, all the oil investors have basically disappeared. They're going to different provinces. They're going to, they're going to our cousins here and over in BC, and then to our cousins in Saskatchewan. They don't want to invest here, and here's the reason why. So I kind of came up with a little demonstration here showing the social economics, because apparently there's a lot of people that support the NDP that apparently have never gone or never actually done a budget, because in all seriousness, this stuff's common sense. So I've done our provinces here, and I've got them flipped around. There's Alberta, we're here in the center here, we got BC, and Saskatchewan. Now, all these three provinces, one form or another, run off of big oil. Sorry, that's the way life is here in Canada. Our western provinces survive off of big oil companies. That's where we make our money. So oil companies like to invest. So we'll pretend that this monopoly money, our $500 bill, is actually $500 million. We're going to invest in different provinces. So we're going to give $500 million to BC, $500 million to Alberta, and $500 million to Saskatchewan. Now, when the NDP came in, the first thing they did is they started going after the oil companies. You know what, in all fairness, yeah, oil companies make mistakes. Oil companies, they do things just like any other company. I'm sorry, if we were going into the closet of any company in the world, there would be skeletons in the closet. There's no doubt about it. But, you know, NDP are just bent on the energy industry and bent on the oil industry and getting rid of it entirely. So they want to go to cleaner energy, greener energy. I guess they've never done the research on that, because I'm sorry to say, NDP are so smart that even some of them have stated, you know, let's build a solar cell greenhouse here in, you know, in the Northwest Territories and that. And if anyone, and I apologize, I don't live in the Northwest Territories, but I've got some common sense that basically says, from what I've seen, you guys get less sunlight than we do, especially during winter. So how is a solar panel supposed to help you out during those long nights and that? I'm sorry to say, we don't have the technology to actually successfully store that energy. So, or your house has some sort of room where you got tons of battery cells sitting there to store that energy during that time. There's no way to collect that energy beyond the use at that moment. For all of you who own solar cells, you know what I'm talking about. The only reason your meter is running backwards is due to the fact that solar panels are running. It starts running the other way as soon as the solar panels start running. And you know what? Unless we want to buy banks upon banks of battery cells, it just doesn't work. If any of you have taken the time to watch David Suzuki, I find it hilarious, and I'll put the link of the video below. He went to Australia to quote unquote, you know, he's our big guy up here, big smart guy. You know, U.S. has got Bill Nye the Science Guy. We got David Suzuki, and David Suzuki went to Australia to tout, you know, green energy and that. And it was hilarious because the whole time it was almost as if he hadn't read a scientific paper for the last 15 years, because there was guys in the audience who are scientists who were pointing out, hold on a second, David Suzuki, this doesn't quite work the way you think about it. Green energy isn't as green as you think it is. It isn't free energy as you think it is. We have problems. So anyway, getting back to what I was talking about, because I digress, we just gave all these three provinces $500 million. And well, if anyone studied economics, when you're an investor and you invest in something, you expect something in return. I'm a nerd. I like video games. When I spend money on a video game, I expect to get something out of it. I expect to get hours upon hours of gameplay. I expect to be able to, sometimes keep it for a collector's item if it's a really cool game I like. I expect to get some value out of it back. For investors in the oil fields, they expect to get some money out of this back. So they're going to invest in a province to get some money back. So these investors have decided, or this investor, or whatever you want to take it, decided to spend, $500 million per province, and then at the end of the year, through the ebbs and flows of the economy, because you know what, you don't know what you get till the end, they end up looking at what they have. So, year passes by, and lo and behold, what they end up having in Saskatchewan ended up making $300 million in return investment. Well, that seems pretty cool. Okay. So maybe next time around, this investor will probably spend, $600 million or $700 million more dollars to invest in Saskatchewan, because that was a good investment. That made him money. So, and then you look at BC, and BC here ended up making them $200 million. So not as good, $100 million less. But hey, you can't complain. He made $200 million more. So you know what? He may invest just $600 million or $550 million into the oil fields and see what he gets next time around. But then lo and behold, NDP governments in Alberta, with all their corporate bullcrap and all the laws that they have put forth, make it very hard to run a business, make it very hard for my wife to run a business, very hard for my aunt to run her business. You see, they put all these stipulations and these laws in place to take money out of any business owner's pocket. And then they wonder why all of a sudden, when, if any of you know, they actually tried to set up an account so that if businesses were able to create a one full-time job, they could get they could end up getting funds. The sad part is when they were about to initialize this project, no one signed up. Why? Because here in Alberta, business owners are seeing what's happening. All business owners are seeing what's happening. Business is not coming to Alberta. So, lo and behold, this investor only makes A piddly 50 million. Which province will I invest in? Well, I can tell you that the investor will probably invest in Saskatchewan. The investor will most definitely invest in BC. But when they get $50 million out of the $500 million that they invested, I can tell you this. The next time around, you might be lucky to get a couple mil. Because I'm sorry, if I invest $70 into a video game, I beat it in 10 minutes. Don't like the game is crappy, graphics were crappy, and for all of you who follow Mega Man and Mighty Number 9, you know what I'm talking about. When we got Mighty Number 9, it was just kind of like, oh my goodness, what did we invest in? But I'm kind of going to my nerd brain here. Check out Mighty Number 9, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. We all as gamers made investments into the creator of Mega Man, hoping he was going to come through for us and create a spiritual successor of Mega Man, and he flopped. He bit the bullet. I'm sorry, the game sucks. It's not a toy. You know what? If it was back in the day and we had the first Mega Man, it may have passed, but really it just sucks. So this is what we face here in Alberta. So my brother actually, I'm pretty sure he probably didn't coin the phrase, but he likes to call the MVP our Koolaid Republic. And since I don't have Kool-Aid, because guess what? I don't have money. I decided to go with these cheap knockoffs of NoHo or whatever you call them, the little squirt juices. So got this cheap knockoff here. So why do we call them the Koolaid Republic? You see, when they originally come in, everything about them is pretty sweet. You know, they offer all these deals, free schooling. That was one thing I noticed too. It was just like something off of the Bernie Sanders bandwagon, free schooling. That's a joke. I'm sorry. If you fell for that from any government, I am so sorry for you. You're never going to get free schooling. Somebody's got to pay for it. It's usually taxpayers. It's not the rich 1%, because I'm sorry to say, if you actually crunch the numbers, the 1% can't afford to send all you kids to school. Doesn't work. So anyway, so the Koolaid Republic comes in, offers a sweet deal, free schooling. We're going to make it easier for families to, to get access to services. Well, services cost money, so anyway, but they keep on offering all these sweet deals, but they don't tell you the truth of what's actually going on. That these things cost money. So they keep on offering, and then all of a sudden, lo and behold, we feed into the offering, and then we gobble it up, and we're like, yeah, we want this sounds awesome. So we end up filling our cups full of the Koolaid Republic's crap. And keep on filling it, and obviously I didn't put enough stuff in here, because it's very light pink. But we can fix that. Because you know what, after they get voted in, they always talk about the stuff they're going to do afterwards. They're going to provide us with more jobs. That was bullcrap. They're going to provide us with better savings, things like that. Just sweeten the pot. So they keep on adding for a little bit after, and then all of a sudden the dust settles. And lo and behold, the Koolaid Republic has created this world where we're all expecting these big things from them. And reality starts setting in. You see, what the first thing the NDP did when they came into government is they started going after the energy and the oil companies. They went after them after the time that they had. They came in, they put on tons more taxes, they put on, I don't have all the numbers, I can put it down below if you're really interested. But they basically made it very hard for investors to even consider putting money into this province. So all of a sudden, the Kool-Aid you thought you were going to drink starts getting a bunch of salt in it. Now, salt in low quantities, if any of you have done baking, or use salt in any form in your drinks or desserts, usually tends to amplify the taste. But here's the problem. You put a lot of salt in it, a lot of crap in it, it starts tasting bad. So yeah, they went after the oil companies, took a bunch of money from them. Okay, well that's a bad decision. We depend upon oil companies. That puts us in a bad spot. Okay, whatever, fine. So the next thing they do is then they have, as Notley likes to say, Bill 6, her favorite bill. So she goes after the farmers. Yeah, that's brilliant. I've got family members who are farmers. You don't attack farmers, but she attacked farmers. Said you're evil farmers. You don't care about your working hands, and that. So we're coming after you, and we're going to make sure you pay. Well, if anyone knows farmers or has worked with farmers, you know what? Farmers aren't rich. They don't make millions of dollars. Some years they make, or some years, they make quite a bit of money. And then there's other years there's famine. I'm sorry, that's the way farming works. If anyone who talks to a farmer and asks how farming works, they will tell you that just because they make lots of money one year doesn't mean they're going to make any money next year. Some years they can have several years in a row where they're making no money. So they have to save that money back. So anyway, so they went after the farmers and said, you farmers are evil people and that, and as they called them the anger machine. Yes, they called the farmers the anger machine. Man, I don't know what kind of farmers they know, but most of the farmers I know are pretty nice. So they went after the farmers, adding more salt to the wound. Well, quite a bit of salt, I should say. Anyway, so after going after the farmers, all of a sudden the businesses started getting worried and started going, what's going to happen next? We're going to start losing business. Things are going to start getting more expensive. We go after these guys. What's going to happen to us? Nothing's like, don't worry, I got you covered. I'm offering all of you a $15 raise for all your employees, coming straight from you. Don't you like that? $15 out of your bank account. Yep. This Kool-Aid's starting to look really delish. Can't wait to taste it. So she keeps on just adding bullcrap, and then all of a sudden she's now going after the energy company. She wants to sell energy, which I'm sorry to say, unless you've got something else implemented, already set up to substitute for it, it doesn't work. But we're going to shut it down. Don't worry, we're more worried about the environment and that, and even though compared to China, we make very, very, very little pollution here in Canada. Go check out the numbers. The numbers are astonishing. We make so little, but yet these groups attack us continuously. So yeah, going after the energy boards and that, and going, hey, you guys owe us money. We're going to take more money out of you, and we're going to charge you more, and you know what? We're going to put you under our control. Starting to sound like a dictatorship. No wonder NDP is normally associated with communism. Wonder why. So anyway, she goes after the energy companies. And it starts looking really bad. And then on top of things, she also goes off of, and this was before the energy companies, she goes after parents, taking away parents' ability to choose for their children. Because you know what? They come from a mindset of just like Soviet Russia, where the government does a better job raising your child than you do. Yeah, we all know that, right? Look at what happened with the KGB. Does anyone know what all happened in communist Russia? We had children turning in their own parents, for crying out loud. And you ask anyone who's escaped from communism, they will tell you, straight from the horse's mouth, that it's miserable. So these NDP keep on implementing these communist ideologies, thinking they're going to work, and they don't. So yeah, they go after the parents, and then they're going after parents. You guys are evil. We don't want you to decide for your kids. We want to make all the rules and the moral judgments, even though they scream intolerance. Isn't that ironic? Scream intolerance, but yet demand to push their morals on you. So anyway, they go after the parents, and now they're talking about putting in a carbon tax. Yes, because in this economy here where I can't get a job, I as an electrician can't find a job anywhere. I've applied. Unless I want to work outside a province and leave all my friends and family behind, which I can't even do that now because the cost of my house is too much. I can't sell my house at a decent price, and no one wants to buy in this environment. Wonder why. So, on top of everything, they want to throw in a carbon tax. Because that's going to fix everything. Sorry, you throw in a carbon tax, everything, products, produce, doesn't matter. It's all going to go up. My brother-in-law could lose his job as a truck driver because of carbon tax. Thank you, Nolly. So yeah, so add more salt to the wound. Until eventually, you get this. Doesn't this taste, still smells pretty good? And in all reality, a lot of people are still falling for the same trick. It looks good, smells good. But if they were to take the time and take a sip of this cool drink called the Koolaid Republic, the MVP, right away, notice how crappy it is. This is salt. Oh, it's like I drank for the dead. No, I don't even want to compare. I don't even want to imagine what the Dead Sea tastes like. Oh. This is horrible! I haven't even mixed it yet. Like, this is how bad it is. I haven't even mixed it yet, and I can't even drink it. It's disgusting. It just blows my mind. I don't make a lot of money. The NDP were the quote-unquote Labour Party of Canada. They were there for the small guy. I am the small guy. I don't make hordes of cash. I do everything with my own two hands. I go fix my car if it breaks down, and if I can't figure it out, then I pay a mechanic, which costs me thousands of dollars. So I'd rather figure it out myself, because you know what? I can't afford it. I have to go fix and do renos on my house. Why? Because I don't make lots of money. But you know what? Where this money comes from, so I can even do that? It comes from the rich guys. I'm sorry. When was the last time you saw a government provide millions of jobs for workers? Millions of jobs for workers. When was the last time a communist government, when has communism ever solved the problems with economics? It never has. You know what? If you want to do social values, things like that, you know what? I'll give you some grace. You know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe we gotta spend some more money and, help Joe down the block. In this case, I have no problem with that. But when you force policies that are not helping us out down our throats, you hurt everyone. At this point, I have a bit of money to survive a little bit longer, but now I'm going to have to look at other things. I've been sitting on EI for several months now, can't find a job. And I can't afford to leave because of the policies and because of the quagmire of crap that they keep on piling onto this province. So here's the lesson, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to survive and come out economically sound, you don't go in the Koolaid Republic to do it for you. Because you know what? They're going to mess everything up. In all reality, until they're gone, we're just going to be facing horrors and horrors. And me and my wife are trying to find fancy new ways of trying to make money. I'm going to put a link below for her geeky soaps for any of you who are interested. Me and my wife are trying to expand, trying to find new ways of making cash. Because at this point, our government certainly isn't helping us out. They're more interested in, in their little pet projects and that, and their little groups that help them get in than helping us Albertans out. Most of their cabinets, or I shouldn't say cabinet, sorry. Most of their cabinet is hired here from Alberta. Most of the people that they get working for them, quite a few of them I might add, who are in high echelons of power, don't even come from this province. You know what? There's tons of people out of work. Why don't you start hiring in province instead of getting people over? And then we got Trudeau. No, I'm sorry, I will not call him Justin Trudeau. He's Trudeau. Now he wants to flood Alberta with a bunch of refugees who are unskilled workers. And of course, you know what's going to happen? They're going to get priority. Reality is, they will get the electrical job that should technically go to me. Because, you know what, the government's going to push it. And they're going to say, hey, you're racist if you don't do it. So, to end this all, I had to do a rant, a little tirade. I'm tired. I haven't slept much, and I'm stressed. The economy here in Alberta sucks, and I'm going to do my best to continue writing, continue providing things, but you know what? I might do a couple of rants here, because I don't just have to talk about the Banana Republic today. There's a couple other things I came up with where I'm just going to rant. Sorry. Not going to talk about writing. I will talk a little, I guess that's a lot. I will talk a bit about writing. In the end, when it comes to my story, Jonathan's Promise, at this point, I am about just over halfway through it. I'm sorry. With the stress and everything, my mind doesn't go immediately to writing. I haven't been able to think about writing. When I've sat down a couple times I've tried writing, I've just been so stressed about work and money and that, I just can't get my head in the game. And you know what? That's me. I give it up to God and change that. That's been my decision. So I'm going to start changing things like that. Me and my wife got kind of a game plan of what's going on, and some things are going to change, and I'm going to try my best to get to you guys my second book in an installment. I'm not going to go through Friesen Press. It's just too expensive, and in this environment, in this economy, I can't afford to go through Friesen Press. So I'm going to have to do it or find cheap places to do it. So all of you stay tuned. I'm going to try to at least once, twice a week tweet or Facebook something, a post on anything, on my books, things like that. And I'm going to try to get up more videos of a little bit of rants for the next couple weeks, probably the next 2 to 3 weeks at least. There's just stuff that's really been sitting on my heart, got me upset, got me annoyed, not just with the government, but with life in general. That I feel that I want to put my 2 cents in. So I thank you for taking the time watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll be chatting with you soon. Click on the links below. Click on the links below and subscribe to my Facebook page. Subscribe to my newsletter, and you can get a free copy of my book for yourself. And you can also get special updates and special sneak peeks into my next book. So I hope you all have fun in the writer's world. I'll talk to you later. This is Brad Warren from Writer's Vee-Log. Bye.